Moving along this week on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, we're bringing up an old segment from last season. Okay, first time this year. The Scuba Steve Team Deep Dive of the Week.
Love it.
And, we did a few of these last year and we got to go back and look and check out those predictions of what we said. But this week, we want to look at the Seattle Mariners, okay, because they're leading the AL West by a game and a half on the Rangers, okay, the defending champion Rangers. Seattle, they're 24-20, got a plus 10 run differential, and they're 5 games back from the Yankees for the American League lead.
All right,
Okay,
all right.
so Seattle's having a good year right now. Okay, beautiful stadium, beautiful stadium. Shout out my
I
guy.
do like it.
Shout out my guy Peter. Took me to a game there when I was living in Seattle. It was all you could eat, all you could drink, sweet. He works for Boeing. If you heard of Boeing, all you could eat, all you could drink, sweet. Had a great time with my guy Peter. Shout out. But the Seattle Mariners this season. Let's look at their bats first, Max. Let's look at their hitting stats. They are outside the top 19. Outside the top 19 in batting average, on base percentage, slugging percentage, OPS, runs scored, hits, ribbies, total bases, stolen bases, and they're dead last in strikeouts.
Wow. You mean dead last, meaning they're not striking out?
No, they're
That's
striking
impressive.
out the most. They're dead
Oh,
last.
okay. So
They're striking out
they
the
are
most.
striking out the most. Okay.
Yes. They're bottom 19 in all those categories. They only have 2 players ranked in the top 200 in our Yahoo Fantasy Categories League. That is Cal Raleigh, the catcher.
Yep.
Okay, he's 164th in our Yahoo League, and outfielder Julio Rodriguez, who is 188th. 188th with 2 home runs.
What?
Julio has 2 home runs. Preseason number 5 player in our Yahoo League is 188th with 2 home runs. He was 4th in the MVP voting last year. He's still only 21. We're not going to get worried. But Max, what do you think about these batting stats? The fact that Julio only has 2 homers and Seattle has a winning record.
The fact that they have a winning record's unbelievable considering. What was the pitching stats? I'm sorry, because
we'll get to the pitching after this.
I was going to say the pitching must be doing something very well. They got Luis Castillo on that team. They got a closer in Andres Munoz that throws 110 miles an hour. It seems like. So we'll talk about that in a second. But Julio, only 2 home runs, man. If he's on your fantasy team, obviously you're disappointed. But I would say take a breath. If you got to sit him on your bench for a little bit, that's okay. But don't drop him. Don't worry about trading him.
No.
Because this is a guy that will heat up at any moment. It's not even summertime, Cobrizi. We're still in spring. It's still spring. Okay. He's going to heat up come June 21st, going into that All-Star break. Look out. I'm not worried about it. But those bats need to wake up because leading the league in strikeouts, that's not going to do it. It ain't going to do it.
I look at 12 batting categories for this segment, and they're outside the top 19 in 10 of them. That's awful. That's awful. Looking at the pitchers, you're right, Max. Got some big dogs on the mound here. With their pitching stats, I look at 10 of them. They are first. They lead the majors in quality starts, hits, walks, on-base percentage allowed, and whip. They are first in those 5 categories.
That's impressive.
They're 7th in ERA and 8th in earned runs allowed. Okay. That's got to be the best. That has to be the best. Okay. Obviously I didn't look at all the teams, but that has to be the best. Being first in 5 out of 10 categories. Oh my goodness. In our Yahoo head-to-head categories league, we got 5 guys ranked in the top 101. Okay, on the pitching mound. Logan Gilbert is going to lead us off at 44th.
Nice.
Is he on your team?
No, none of mine. I wish.
Logan Gilbert's 44th. My guy Bryce Miller, 56th.
Nice.
Luis Castillo, 68th. On your team?
Oh,
balloon! Well, look out,
balloons! Oh, jeez.
Is Luis on your team?
No.
Is George Kirby on your team? 69th.
George Kirby, baby. That's my boy.
I knew you had one of these guys. Gilbert's 44th, Bryce Miller 56th, Luis Castillo 68th, George Kirby 69th, and Andres Munoz 101st. And let's not forget about my other guy, Brian Wu. He's finally back. Two games he's
Dude,
pitched.
that
Point
is
nine
a, oh my.
point nine three ERA through his first two starts, Brian Wu on my team. That might be that is one of the best pitching staffs. We'll have to do a ranking sometime
Yeah.
if to see if it's the best. What do you think about those guys, Max?
Oh my goodness, Cole Breezy. That pitching staff is phenomenal.
Whoa.
Phenomenal. Okay, and I don't even think I think those guys are from the farm system, other than Luis Castillo. I know Luis
Mm-hmm.
Castillo they signed, but I think the other guys are in the farm system.
I believe so.
Dude, that is why they're obviously winning. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because when okay, your bats are struggling, well, the other team ain't hitting either. Okay, so you might be winning games 1-0. All right, a win's a
Might
win. A
be.
win's a
Might
win.
be. Might be.
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. That is going to be a hard team to beat with those starters. But bats, wake the hell up, support your crew, because when they're pitching 6 shutout innings and it's still 0-0, I mean, it's got to be so frustrating as a pitcher.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
wake up, bats.
The Mariners were 88-74 last year and missed the playoffs, Max. 88-74 and missed the playoffs. They have 5 playoff appearances in Mariners history. Max, is this going to be the 6th?
Ooh, man, it's so early, but we got to make a prediction here. With that pitching staff, I think it can happen. I do
Mm,
think that their bats are good. They are good. They just need to wake the hell up. All right. I think they slip in there because the West is weak. They are weak. Houston is slumping. Angels
yeah,
suck. They're cursed.
always.
We already brought that up. Rangers, they're going to be there. All right. They're
Yeah,
going to be there.
yeah,
So it's going to be
yeah.
between the Rangers and Seattle. I think both teams can make the playoffs. Maybe Seattle gets that wild card. I don't know if they're going to win the West against the Rangers, though.
And Oakland always blows. They're a
Oh,
little better.
I
A little
I
better this year.
I
A little
forgot
better.
about them.
They
Forgot.
they they're actually no, they're
Uh,
tied with the Astros. Uh,
in the bottom of the
uh
barrel.
Angels at the bottom. So, yeah, you got a couple teams at the AL East always going to make it. The AL Central usually is a one team division. I was back and forth on this one, Max, because the batting is so bad. 10 out of 12 categories outside the top 19 is awful. But I'm with you. I think they wake up. I think Julio gets the boys going. He's only 21. He's got a lot of juice.
Yeah,
He's got a
oh
lot
yeah.
of juice,
21 years old is hard to believe. My goodness.
isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Uh, the pitchers are one of the best staffs in the major leagues. I'm with you. Seattle's going back to the postseason for the 6th time in franchise history.
Let's go. And they're a young team too. We love seeing those youngsters out there playing their heart out because they actually have such a passion for the game. They just want to win. They're not thinking about the money yet. They just let's win, let's win. Once that big contract comes into play, then then we'll start talking about the money and how players start thinking about that a little bit. But for the most part, this is just a young team. We're ready to win. Come on.